Happy New Year, folks.
Oh, shit.
Thank you so much for dropping by.
2023, off to a fucking rocky, awful start so far.
Absolutely.
Sweetie, what's going
What a
on?
fucking nightmare this year has been.
Welcome to the Locker Room Talk. Well, we had an episode drop on midnight 2020. This was the second episode of the new year. Matt Maran, Joe Gorman, Bobby Sheehan. What's bothering you, Joe?
Oh, my God. The fucking Patreon. All-time low. Podcast. 0 subscribers. We're officially blacklisted on YouTube.
Yes.
We're officially like rock bottom
Absolutely.
for this year.
We're in the stage of like the Beatles where Yoko Ono is just making an appearance. Yeah.
Wonder who's our Yoko Ono.
There's
if only one of us was actually having sex with someone.
Yeah.
It's a history book is our Yoko Ono.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's going to divide the locker room talk?
Yeah. It's going to be a history book that questions whether or not Abraham Lincoln is as good as some people think he is.
I don't think he is.
You don't think he's that great?
No, he fucking ruined the party for a bunch of states.
He ruined the party for all the southern states. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were all having a nice time, and he ruined it.
Everyone was fucking chilling. They had like a cool plantation.
Oh, guys, don't you think it's kind of mean that some people don't get paid to work?
Yeah. And then this
Isn't that
tall
kinda
ass theater nerd
Yeah.
was like, I fucking emancipate your proclamation. It's like, fuck that, dude. Don't tell me what to do, nerd.
Yeah. At the risk of breaking up the podcast, I'll say I think Abraham Lincoln's overrated.
Yeah? Why?
But I don't think he sucks. I just think
What president does suck? And don't say Trump.
Woodrow Wilson.
Why?
He's
Because
pretty
he
much
looks like a little
everything he
fucking
did.
nerd, right? With
He
his
is
fucking glasses.
He was a fucking like elitist, like God Messiah complex. I can fix everything for everyone, and kind of made everything worse.
I read
All the reasons he sucks, you actually might like though.
I read a trivia that every president wore glasses.
No.
Which one didn't?
I mean, they all probably have readers, at least by the end of their time.
Yeah, but like
I win.
regularly.
Nice try. I win.
Regularly.
Glasses, no glasses. Everyone wore glasses. I win.
JFK didn't.
Yeah, he did. That's why he smoked weed, and he kept it a secret.
But
What does wearing glasses have to do with smoking weed?
He was trying to offset his glaucoma.
do you ever get the sense that Joe is filibustering any
Yeah.
argument that he's in?
No, every president wore glasses.
Yeah.
Just read it.
I would say Abe Lincoln's overrated, but I think any president that is like one of our better presidents gets overrated, and anyone who's one of our worst presidents gets underrated because it's the way people look at history. We deify certain people.
Who's an underrated president?
He's gonna say, but Ted, you're gonna say Teddy because Teddy's one of your favorites, but he's
I
up
wouldn't
there.
say. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's underrated.
He's rated, if anything.
Yeah, I think he's appropriately rated. Maybe overrated a little bit because he's generally seen pretty high.
Yeah, but he did some bad
Underrated.
things. Like he killed some Indian people, and he was like, "That's bully."
Yeah, that's the. It
He's
was
like,
the bully
"It's bully
pulpit.
to kill a redskin," and he's like, "I'm the president."
Who would be an underrated president?
Andrew Jackson
Andrew Jackson.
for
Yeah,
not being as efficient as wiping out the Native Americans. As he should get more credit for that.
Yeah.
Taking care of that savage problem in America.
I think Grover Cleveland, I'm not a huge fan of his, but he gets ranked low. It's like, if you look at Calvin Coolidge, I think was like good for his time.
If you could kill
I'd say the ones that get, I'd say the ones that are underrated, the ones that are considered the worst, and I'm like, I don't think they were, like a Jimmy Carter, Herbert Hoover, I think they were like there during a bad time. They didn't necessarily make things better, and they made mistakes, but I don't think they deserve to be ranked that low.
I do.
I don't
he
think they're
he
like...
fucking gave up his peanut farm like a little bitch.
He did give up
I'd
his
say,
peanut
fuck
farm.
you, government fucking queermos. I'm keeping my fucking peanuts. And you know what? If you have a peanut allergy, I'm going to fucking smear this shit on your lip.
I think-
now, that brings
yeah.
me to my second question.
Yes.
If you could kill a United States president, past or future, who would it be?
I'll just kill one of the ones who's dead already.
No, it has to be while they were president.
William Henry Harrison, because he was only president, but he died pretty soon after.
What about you, Bobby?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Maybe John Tyler because he ended up going to the dark side.
Ooh, he's the only president to be buried technically outside of not really the United States. He was buried in the Confederacy after they seceded. So he was the only president not to be mourned in Washington
Why?
because he joined the Confederacy and died during the war.
Oh, can you include like the Southern president too?
There's only one.
Jefferson Davis.
They really didn't like him either. He's a fucking nerd.
Now, which president? Now, what number is he then?
He's not a United States president.
So he's like a 0.5.
He would be what, 16.5, I guess.
Well, he should technically still be a president because it's still America, right?
This is a hot, hell yeah. Let's have this take.
Why can't
Jefferson Davis should be in the American history books as a U.S. president?
Americans fucking voted for him, right?
Was he voted in?
He was sworn in.
He was voted in by the Southern senators.
The
They didn't directly. They couldn't. They didn't have their shit together.
Well, does
really.
it not say on the Constitution, the laws you make on earth shall be noted in heaven? So it counts.
Yeah, that's the 16th Amendment.
Yeah. So Jefferson Davis is. I wouldn't kill him though.
You'll like this. I think Ulysses S. Grant gets underrated as a president.
Yeah.
And probably overrated as a general. But also not because he's bad. Just the same way people look at things as so black and white, good and bad, that it's like, oh, he was the best general ever and one of the worst presidents. Like those things are. Everything is gray.
I agree with that. I will also say that as much as I love Grant, the fact that he was easily swindled as president does make him, in that respect, a poor leader.
Yeah.
Like, people are always like, he was so trusting. I'm like, well, being overly trusting is bad. Like, if I worked for a company and my boss was like, oh, I trust this guy to work in accounting, and then that guy stole my payroll, I wouldn't be like, oh, well, my boss is so trusting. I'd be like, well, my boss is an idiot for trusting that guy.
He also did get rid of the KKK. So, Joe,
That guy
I know you're not a
sucks,
fan.
dude.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Okay, so it's agreed. American presidents suck. What a riveting 6 minutes to start the new podcast
Hell
of the new
yeah.
year. I'm sure people aren't going to unsubscribe from the Patreon for this one.
You
Yikes.
did start the presidential talk. I want to be very clear.
Nobody,
I didn't bring it up.
But everyone was like, president this, president that. I'm trying to get to the meat. Who would you kill and how would you do it?
Who would you kill?
I would fucking choke Taft to death in a bathtub.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Open and shut case.
Taft's
Take
a
that.
good one.
And then I'd go through history killing every other fat person to ever live. So Marilyn Monroe, you're next. Another fucking fat person.
Everybody knows that she was huge.
She was huge. She was like a size 3 or something.
Yeah, it's not like they changed sizes in the 80s when Americans started getting fat.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, that's still gross. Fat is fat, dude.
Yeah. So, wait, Marilyn Monroe.
I mean, just look at a picture of her. She's not overweight.
I mean, she kind of is. You got to
Yes,
feel
yeah.
her arms, dude.
Yeah.
That's the only way to fully tell if a woman's overweight.
Yeah.
And that's a fucking fact, dude.
You got to see her stick her arm out and see
Yeah.
the tricep fat.
You got to get a
little
feel.
bit.
You have to feel a woman's arm if you
Yeah.
want to know if she's fat or not.
Yeah. The official Locker Room Talk podcast takes is 1, Jefferson Davis deserves to be recognized as a U.S. president, and Marilyn Monroe was fat.
There's your history.
It's so funny to think of Marilyn Monroe as like having like multicolored dyed hair and like a nose piercing and
Multicolored? Like Dennis Rodman?
No, if she was like a
She's
Gen
just
Z.
blonde, right? Oh, yeah.
No, I'm saying like the fat women now that are like, I'm actually like Marilyn Monroe. The idea that
Oh,
Marilyn
God.
Monroe like stinks like pot and has like dirty fingernails all the time.
That
and
sounds
is
like
always
my
in a
kind
bad
of chick,
mood.
honestly. Though.
Yeah.
All right, man. I wouldn't mind doing some dirty ass bong rips with that chick.
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe was like the pinup model of the day. The idea, like, any
She was like
fucking-
Megan Fox.
Yeah, like
in the
disgusting fat
1950s.
girls now who have too much body hair thinking, I'm actually the same size as Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Are they? More like Jabba the Hutt, right?
Yeah, Joe.
dude, Jabba the Hutt, that scene when Princess, I know that everyone has said this, but Princess Leia as a slave in a bikini.
Yeah.
Choking out Jabba.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see
When
the
she
special
becomes the
edition?
dom.
The special edition where Jabba comes doing that.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, and
And that little pet thing is like, oh, and he gets covered in
yeah,
jizz.
he hits Salacious Crumb, and it does one of those crazy George Lucas dissolves into the next scene. Honestly, like, just let a couple incels fix fucking Star Wars. I think it's gonna be another 10 years before Star Wars gets like people excited the way it used to.
Yeah, what if people who didn't have sex liked Star Wars?
Can you imagine?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, right now it's like I'm trans and I like Star Wars, or it's like I'm gay and Star Wars is my anthem. It's like it's always been about a fucking.
Really? Is
Yeah.
it like woke people like
woke
Star
people
Wars
like
now?
Star Wars now?
Well, because
dude.
isn't like C-3PO gay?
C-3PO's always been gay.
Yeah.
But like that was like
But
the most-
R2D2 is alt right for sure.
Yeah, R2D2. Well, R2D2 is always sexually assaulting everything because remember when his little fucking finger comes out of his fucking
Ooh.
astromech droid?
Okay, I'm listening.
You ever watch?
And they're always beeping out what he's saying.
You ever watch Star Wars, like the new shit?
I haven't
No.
seen any of the new stuff.
I've only
to-
seen the big 6. Everything else seems like a waste of time.
Everything else is a waste of time.
And
And like,
actually,
honestly,
Attack of the Clones sucked too.
honestly, like some of the prequel shit sucks too. In fact, most of like the original trilogy kind of sucks as well. But it's only because like we're like little kids. It's little. Star Wars is a little kid thing, and no one wants to admit it.
I watched
know?
it. I watched it for the first time like a couple of years ago during the lockdown.
Yeah.
I had never seen it before. I watched the first 3, and then I watched like the first 2 prequels, and then half of the third one. And I didn't dislike it, but I was kind of like, I get it.
It's bad.
Yeah, and I wasn't watching even the originals. I'm like, it's good. It's fun.
okay. Like there's better
Yeah.
sci-fi out there.
Yeah,
It's
but-
just like it's like mainstream, accessible. So
Yeah.
it's like that's like saying like Green Day is the greatest punk rock band of all time. It's like, well, that's subjective, but in terms of mainstream popularity, that's the most punk rock the mainstream is going to get. That's widely accessible.
If you tell me that Green Day is the greatest punk band of all time, you better have the time to listen to me whine.
Yeah, I would have said like Rancid would
Yeah.
be the greatest punk band of all time, or G.G. Allen.
G.G. Allen. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard a G.G. Allen song. I just know
Bite
that.
it,
Oh,
you scum.
You'll love them, Matt.
Really?
Cause it's all right to expose yourself to kids. Do it
Uh-oh.
now before they grow up and it's too late.
The Bobby Sheehan anthem.
Yeah. Is that an actual?
Bobby, it's like the first song you memorized. It wasn't even "Bite It, You Scum," but it's like, damn, this fucking bop fucking relates to me, dude.
Is that an actual G.G. Allen
Yeah,
song?
dude.
Yeah, and his so like "Bite It, You Scum" and that one too. It's like it's just okay punk rock, like 4 chords, real simple A B
I wouldn't
rhyme
even say
scheme.
it's like real. I'd say it's like the most basic, but it's just so extreme and vulgar and angry.
And he would throw shit at people
Yeah.
from the stage.
He would try to
Well,
get into fights with people.
That's what like he actually like the songs we mentioned, which have like an actual structure, is how he started, and then he started doing crazy live shows, and then the music just turned into utter dog shit.
Yeah.
Because I think he sort of, I mean, I think his brain was getting destroyed from drugs and stuff. But he was
Heroin.
like, people come to my show, I'm naked, I throw my feces at them. Why do I have to keep writing coherent music? So he just like wrote like his later albums. No one sincerely likes it. He has spoken word shit. Nobody likes it.
What is it with like people like in the fucking punk rock? They get into like spoken word, like
It's
Henry
so
Rollins.
It's so weird. It's so weird. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Jello Biafra from fucking Dead Kennedys, they think that they're like smart and they're not. They write good music. Stay in your lane.
yeah.
I think some of it is, there's a lot of punk rock that's like really good, but a lot of it is they do punk rock because they can't do like better music.
Yes.
And so then they get like a fan base for their thing, and they think they're geniuses when they really aren't.
They should be killed.
But but I don't know enough about music to know more detail. But I've seen that in other fields where there's people who they can't necessarily learn the right way to do the thing, but they find something in that field that they can do and build an audience for.
Yeah.
And instead of kind of feeling lucky, like you put work into it, but there is some level of, there's baseball Hall of Famers who, when they talk about themselves, they're like, yeah, I got incredibly lucky. And it's like, well, you also put hard work in. But if you're somebody who kind of found a lane and then feels like fucking I'm actually a genius,
Yeah.
and then you start doing poetry and spoken word, it is kind of sad.
Dude, Henry Rollins in particular, because he got big by being in Black Flag. He joined after they had already written their most popular songs.
Yeah.
Like the fucking album Damaged, I think it's called. That has like most of the stuff on it. And so like Henry Rollins comes in later because the guitarist didn't want to keep singing the music.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he was just kind of like hanging out.
Chilling.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, do you want to be our lead singer?" So not only should he stay in his lane in terms of music, but like he's not even the guy that wrote the most popular music.
I think he's almost the opposite, where because everything I see him do, I don't know much. I don't think I've ever heard any of his songs with Black Flag, but everything I like seen him. He hosted like a show on History Channel. I thought was awesome.
Really?
The like kind of like spoken word comedy type shows he was doing, I always thought were hilarious.
He's fucking a narcissist, though. When you hear him talk,
unlike other people who do comedy that are really funny.
but
I would say like there's some humble people that do comedy.
There's some.
Like it's like I think Dave Attell. I don't think Dave
Yeah.
Attell is like I'm fucking God.
Right.
I think Dave Attell. I feel like Dave Attell like could have like the greatest set, and he'll go back home and just think of like the
Yeah.
one joke that didn't hit,
Well,
and that's what
yeah.
makes you great.
Yeah.
Being humble, not these people that are like, oh, I'm like the fucking Rock, giving like a fucking promo about how cool and how non-binary I am, and how like, oh, my dad's fucking gay, and like that's a fucking bit now. Get out of here, dude. Those are the people that should. I want to run over them in a car, like I ran over all those people on January 6th. You know,
Joe just puts multiple hate crimes together. He's like, you know when they ran over people January 6th? Like, no, that didn't happen there.
I tell you what,
Why,
man.
January 6th is an idea.
Leave it to Joe. Leave it to Joe to make January 6th worse.
Man, the CIA agent that's fucking tracking me right now is like running out of so much fucking thread trying to fucking pin everything together and make all the connections.
Yeah.
Nice try, buddy.
Henry Rollins, like narcissism, though. I get your point that there's a lot of narcissists, especially in
And
show
also
business. But
from-
you could
yeah.
you could feel it when he's talking that he's better, that he feels better than
He
you.
read
Yeah.
like 4 books.
Yeah.
And like a thesaurus.
He's
From-
one of those
yeah.
guys. You know what he is? He's one of those like those comedians that we hate that are always talking
Black
about
people?
the grind. That they're always talking about the grind.
Black
Yes.
comics.
Yeah.
That's black comics. Black comics are like, man, I've been working hard out here. Yo, you got to come check out my fucking show 11:45 at this fucking bringer venue. Maybe it's called the Grizzly Pear. I don't know what the fuck it called, man. But we be out here. We be working. We be hustling. They had existed on the West Coast too.
Yeah.
The hard working black, we call it.
That's
behind
even-
closed doors and never to their face. But
That-
why would you talk to them, right? Why would you be alone in a room with a black person? It's terrifying, right? There's a reason we had Bobby on the show to protect me when Jay was here, because it's like, damn, this fucking black guy broke Matt's arm. I don't want him to fucking beat me up too.
Joe was worried that he might be next.
It was
Yeah.
it's like in Star Trek when somebody beats the fuck out of Worf and like,
Yeah.
well, Worf's the toughest guy. This guy fucking means
Right.
business. Yikes.
Yeah.
So like, Henry Rollins is basically that kind of guy. Like
A black guy.
He
Henry Rollins is an
black
N-word. You heard it here on Locker Room Talk.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. He's a Black Flag.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm very much just about the end product. If I like what I see, even if I'm like, yeah, I may not want to hang out with that person, I'm like, yeah, but I'm not hanging out with that person.
Yeah, but if he is, I guess if a narcissist is making a table for me, yeah. But if it's art, I want art to come from a certain place, and I don't want it to come from a guy that writes a book about how he never relaxes because he's always on the grind because he has to work. Because blah,
Where do you
blah,
want
blah.
your art to come from?
I don't know. I know that art comes from hard work, but if you're the type of person that's like, I work very hard, I find you annoying and might be less interested.
What
in the
about
art that you do.
rappers that are like, I've been working?
Well, that's fucking cool.
Well, how
they're
is that different
rappers.
though? It's like the
Because they're rappers, Joe. Come on, that's part of it.
You have to be black in order for Bobby to respect your hustle culture.
well,
Exactly, dude.
it's like you can be black, but you have to rhyme when you're talking about how hard you work.
Kind of, yeah, because a comic that's like, I grind, I'm like, no, you don't. Fuck you, suck my dick. But if you're a rapper and you're like, yo, I'm putting all this work watching this bitch twerk, I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
Well,
that
do they
fucking
say
rules.
they work on social media, or is it like on stage? Do they say they work?
I actually, there's, do you know the rapper Big L?
No, of course not. Is he They Might Be Giants?
I don't know what that means.
Do you know who They Might Be Giants are?
It's a band, right?
It is
Yeah.
a band.
Yeah.
It's just a goofy fucking white guy band.
Oh, is Malcolm in the Middle?
Yes.
Yep.
You're not the boss of me now.
And
Yep.
they
I
also
knew I recognized
in
him.
Tiny Toons they did a bunch of music videos too.
Yeah.
Big L is
Who's calling you, Matt? Your mom?
Oh no, it's a reminder that we have to record Locker Room Talk.
Oh,
Ooh,
yikes.
perfect. That's what we're already doing. But
Yeah.
Big L was a good, like one of the best freestyle rappers in like the late '90s, and he was on a radio show, and they were asking him to freestyle, and his whole thing while he's rapping is basically like, My dick's huge. I'll fucking murder you. Every woman wants to have sex with me, and I am very, very wealthy. And then as soon as he's done, people are like, "Oh, yo, that was amazing." He's like, "Thanks. It was okay. I appreciate it."
What would you
know
freestyle about?
But do you understand the difference, though?
No.
That
Well,
he's the art form is to be braggadocious, but as soon as he's done, he's like humble.
But like, I mean, Louis C.K. has like stuff about how he has like money and like how it doesn't like, you know, like in Sorry he opened like saying how he lost like, you know, the absurd amount of money. He lost like $24 million or something.
Something like that.
He opened up Sorry saying like I lost $24 million, and then he was saying how like it was ridiculous that anyone has that much money to lose in the first place. You know, and I think it's okay, but I think it needs to come from a sense of awareness. And I think sometimes when we see like a comic that says like I'm working hard, it's funny because they're not funny. And I think that's what it really comes down to. Is like you see an unfunny comic saying I work hard, and it's like, well, you don't work hard on your act. You work hard at sucking some booker's dick to get you on stage because that's the only reason you're you know going to be on stage. Or they're a fucking diversity like, oh, my fucking parents are fucking visibly ethnic. I wish I fucking had a fucking
You're a quarter Japanese.
I know, but I wish I fucking hammed it up more to get on these fucking diversity shows with these like fucking half gooks that are just like fucking parading around their fucking yellow ethnicity.
You say that, but you could.
I should.
You
What
choose
am I
not
going to do? Change my fucking last name to my fucking grandmother's? Fucking,
I can tell you
tape
3 people that have done that exact thing.
Yeah, but that's like fucking. It's like it's pathetic though.
Why don't you like go on social media and say that you're pansexual and try and get booked on shows?
Because those shows suck. It's like awful shows.
Yeah. Well, that's because for those of you who don't know, Joe did do that and got booked on those shows, and he's now complaining about, well, I could just say I'm diverse and get on those shows, but those shows suck.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Shows are shows, and like it never came up.
Yeah.
And plus, like you can't prove pansexuality.
Yeah, that and bisexual if you want to be a little conservative.
I'm bisexual. I've just never had sex with men. I just don't feel the impulse right
You
now.
have.
See, that's how people would know that like I'm lying if I said I'm bi and went like, oh, but I'm just not hooking up with men because, and this is not I'm not describing all bi men, but if I was bi, I would have a dick in my mouth every night of the week.
Why?
I'm just that's I love sex.
You know what I would do?
The only
if I
thing
was,
that's keeping me from doing it is the lack of a willing participant.
if I was bi, I'd have sex with a man and a woman at the same time. And it'd be a daisy chain. And first I'd watch him fuck her, and then I'd suck his dick with her pussy juice on it, and then I'd make him fuck her in the ass, and then I fuck him in the ass, and then I
making me
watch
so upset.
her suck his shit off my dick, and I fucking come in both of them.
Was
And
this
then-
your set at the pansexual show?
Yeah. And then I say, congratulations, you both have AIDS. Because as you know, the only way to get AIDS is to have sex with a man. It's impossible. If you're a fucking man, you can't get AIDS from having sex with a woman.
It is actually much harder.
It's nearly impossible. I had sex with an active heroin addict one time, and like I remember she was telling me like I'm on heroin, and this was like in like 2006.
Back when we didn't know about AIDS.
Back when it was like, if somebody does heroin, they probably have AIDS.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, you know, and I was like, death sentence. But then I had sex with another woman, and she never got AIDS.
So you took a test, so to speak.
Yes. I did the safest, most erotic test available.
Joe knowingly has sex with a heroin addict while he thinks they have AIDS, and his reaction is, "Oh no!"
I didn't.
Daisy.
I didn't realize until afterwards, where I was like, "Wait a tick."
I lost my virginity to a woman that later told me that she found out that her boyfriend, who she was fucking raw, was a heroin addict.
Well, that's cool though.
It is kind of
So
cool.
it's like, okay, well, you just like you basically had phantom sex with a rock star.
Either of you guys have sex with someone who's now dead?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. How many minutes after the sex did you wait to kill her?
Come on, Matt. She mysteriously died about 6 months later of STD related causes.
Joe's a dormant carrier.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Well, the amount of working women overseas.
Wait, have you really had sex with a dead person, somebody who died?
Yeah, died of a drug overdose like a year or so later.
Can you tell me your full name?
I don't remember her full name. First name was Samantha. I don't think I ever knew her last name. It was a girl I hooked up with once.
Did you love her?
No.
Why not?
You slept with someone you didn't love?
Yeah, I mean, she was a drug addict. You can't love
That's
a drug
wild.
addict.
You can.
I didn't
true.
know she. I mean, it was like there was people who were partying, so I didn't know what she was into necessarily.
Anal.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that she was an addict, or maybe she wasn't. I mean, you could die of a drug overdose without being.
You
an
knew her
addict.
decision making was off.
Did
at
you
the
think
least.
you Did you think you could save her?
No, I didn't know her that well.
Did you play that if I could save you, would you call me Superman song while you were fucking her? That would have been cool.
No one I've had sex with has actually died, but a handful of them have become mothers.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Sometimes like I'll like see like it's like I'll randomly pull them up on like Facebook or like it'll like randomly like show it's like, hey, you might know this person. I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Because I'll see her fucking like walking a kid. And I'm like, I don't know you at all. It is wild to be like, damn kid, like I fucked your mom. It's wild to like to think
You
that.
should message and be like, "Hey, are you still with the dad? And also, did you have a C-section?
Yeah. I think
or whatever to break the ice."
I think I mentioned this before. I hooked up with a girl who's now married to the guy who she was dating at the time that I hooked up with her.
Oh, that's so upsetting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, they're married. They were dating when I hooked up with her.
Oh,
and,
wow.
now they're married.
Nice, dude.
Dude, it's so crazy how common cheating is.
Yeah.
You think that it's just something Joe does, but it's actually but it's actually very common.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so you think it's possible some of the girls you've been with have died. I guess it's possible other ones I've been with have died because I haven't kept up with every girl I've ever hooked
Why
up with.
would you?
Yeah.
Easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are women that I've slept with. I was thinking about this
Who
recently.
probably killed themselves shortly after.
I mean, I would if I was them, dude. I've jacked off in front of a mirror, and that was upsetting enough.
Why? Why was it upsetting? Because you saw how angry you looked?
I do look angry. Like,
Why?
yeah, well, I mean, people do bits about this, but like when you're changing tabs or whatever, and you just see your reflection in your laptop or your phone,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, that's the face I make when I'm horny. But it's really because you're concentrating, and also I'm fucking 32, so I'm squinting like a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably need to go to the eye doctor. I fucked a woman that was when I still lived at home, and she was hiking the Appalachian Trail because I live right off
Yeah.
the trail where I did at the time.
She was like, help, I've fallen and broken my leg.
And I was like, top half still looks good, huh?
And Bobby's like, oh, don't worry. Let me just put your leg in a splint. and she was like, what? It's like, no, don't worry.
Oh, but the splint feels so small. I don't know if it's big enough for even a tiny portion of my leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then she she just like went on her merry way.
Yeah.
Hell
And
yeah,
then I'm
dude.
like, I hope she didn't fucking die on the Appalachian Trail with my DNA inside
That'd be
of her.
so funny. A woman found brutally
Yeah.
slaughtered on Appalachian Trail. It's like, oh, luckily we found a
Sperm
fucking
sample.
14-year-old's jizz inside of her. How old were you at the time? You said living at home, so I assumed teenager.
I think it was on break from college, so somewhere between 21 and 23.
You're like, hey, let me fuck you in my parents' bedroom.
I went to her hotel. She got a hotel.
Really?
Yeah. And I met her at the Chinese food restaurant because she's like, I'm
Ooh.
getting Chinese. This is actually the best I've ever had, honestly. Not
That
the
probably
Chinese food, although
That probably
was good too.
sounds like it.
Because she's like, hey, I'm kind of looking for a place to stay tonight
How did you meet her?
on an app. I think
Okay.
Tinder. I think this was before you had to be a model to get luck on Tinder.
Okay.
So, or it was some sort of dating app. And
oh my.
So she's like,
There were
I
dating apps 10 years ago?
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, there were
10 years ago was only 2012.
Yeah, there weren't really apps yet. They were like websites.
I was
They were still like
using-
online.
It
like,
wasn't like Tinder, but there was like.
But they were
eHarmony.
like, but they also had like phone apps where you could still like message people and
Okay.
like them and
I
shit.
was definitely using it. Like I started using online dating like in college.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
find townies that had their
Really?
standards like a little lower.
Yeah.
Damn, I guess I'm glad I went to college in that sense, where
Mm-hmm.
it was like, just fuck people in your class. But I went to college at just the right time where Facebook just came out.
Yeah.
And when Facebook just came out, you could add your classes, like your exact class.
Oh,
And then you
cool.
could click on that class and see the other people in your classes. So the standard thing is like, hey, we have that test coming up. Let's get together and study. but they could fucking bring like some fucking booze or something.
Yeah, I actually never hooked up with any girls in classes in college because I was wrestling at the time, and
Bummer,
I would
dude.
I would hook up after wrestling shows. So in my head, I was like, okay, if I can hook up like every weekend, then I just won't hook up with girls who I'm going to have to see on campus because that could be like drama.
Really? That's
You heard
funny.
that, folks? It was Matt's decision.
At the time, I was like hooking up with girls after wrestling shows.
Ooh, Matthew.
Maybe on college campus, they never saw me perform, so to them, I was just like this weirdo who talked about wrestling.
Hey, don't say that.
Maybe.
Mamma mia.
Yeah. But yeah, in general, I was like, oh, I have to. If I hook up with someone and it ends up badly, then I like live in the same like neighborhood as them, basically.
Whatever. You
It's like-
get used to it.
Yeah.
You get decent. One time I fucking hooked up. I was supposed to move in with this girl.
Yeah.
And we ended up like hooking up. This was like in college, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to fucking live with somebody I fucking hooked up with.
Yeah.
So I ended up like finding like a new place, and we both found like a new place. And then like I would see her like in the neighborhood because she still found like an apartment in the
Yeah.
area. And like one time like she was walking and I saw her and she saw me, but she tripped over a curb. And I was like, ha, you stupid bitch. See you in hell.
It's so funny. Everyone's worst nightmare is you see someone who you used to hook up with and you stumble or something.
Yeah.
And in truth, no one ever actually cares. But it's funny the idea that Joe would actually be like, stupid bitch.
Yeah, fucking retard. Look at this idiot.
Yeah.
One step with heel toe, bitch.
Yeah.
That was wild.
It is so unnatural when you run into. It feels unnatural when you run into somebody that you used to fuck because it's like in a primal sense, you were supposed to like
Be dead.
you were supposed to like fuck them and have like 11 babies and be with them all the time.
Not all the time. You're just until like I feel like I'm probably gonna sound like a fucking alpha, but like I feel like you're supposed to go around and fuck somebody, and they have your kid, and then you go fuck somebody like Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
I think is what you're supposed
We're all
to do.
supposed to be Genghis Khan.
And that's the only way you can get like your bringer show quota
right.
in New York.
Yeah.
Is if every person you have sex with you impregnate.
Yeah.
And they bring their entire family to your show.
But in truth, what you're saying, you're supposed to meet a girl, have sex with her, and then stay with her until she stops giving head.
Yes. Yeah. Traditional.
Yeah.
And then you get an annulment from the Pope.
Right.
Because you, quote, stopped getting head.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I actually just we were talking about Marilyn Monroe.
Ooh.
Joe DiMaggio, when the two of them were together. Or no, it was before he was with her. It was when he was with his first wife. They divorced, and then he was with Marilyn Monroe. And like the Archbishop of Diocese of New York called to meet with Joe DiMaggio, and he was like, "Jesus Christ, okay, what's the Archbishop want?" And he was like an Italian American Catholic guy.
Yeah.
So he's like, of course I'll meet with them. And the Archbishop told him he thought it was really bad that he was divorcing. He had divorced already, and then he was going to be dating someone like Marilyn Monroe, who he felt it was sending a bad message to the kids.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Hey, Joe DiMaggio, why you fucking at the bigger woman with the bigger titties, huh? You got to be good. You got to be an incelio. You got to go around and have a sex with a beautiful fucking woman who will swallow your load like it with the president.
yeah.
Something like that.
And he like basically told the Archbishop to fuck off.
Of course, dude.
Yeah. But it's got to be a weird. If you are a devout Catholic and then like an Archbishop tells you something, it's got to be like a big deal. I'd be kind of like, what? I guess I would go to see what he has to say, but I wouldn't give a shit what he said.
Yeah, if the Archbishop told me I couldn't love Kelly anymore, I'd
Yeah.
kill the Archbishop. And then everyone who believed in God.
Yes.
For somebody that could worship a God that would make such an unjust demand deserves an immediate death.
Yes.
Damn, dude. I hope
Yeah.
people write fucking stories of my epic behavior.
Yeah.
And I certainly hope this doesn't somehow incriminate me in the long run. All these vague threats, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of crazy that the Archbishop, as a good Catholic man, you shouldn't be dating someone like Marilyn Monroe.
What kind of religion? That's a bunk religion, dude.
Yeah, he also, Joe DiMaggio never went. There was a book I read that was written by like a doctor of his in New York who became friendly with him in his later years. DiMaggio was very private, so he never really talked about stuff. And this guy just wrote about the conversations he had with him late in life, and he talked about how he believed like the Kennedys had Marilyn Monroe killed.
Probably.
Because he, like, even though they had divorced, she marries someone else, she divorces him, and then her and Joe kind of had reconciled, and it seemed like they were going to there were reports they were going to get married again.
That'd be weird.
She was, like, put in an insane asylum after, like, the last divorce, and he was her first call, and he, like, got her out of there. So it seemed like there was something still like between the two of them, and he like to his like dying day, like he would send flowers to her tombstone
Aw.
for like years after until people, the media found out he was doing it, and then he stopped because he didn't want the media to make a big deal out of it. But yeah, he didn't like that. Like he felt like Sinatra basically like Joe DiMaggio's view was he basically pimped her out to the Kennedys. So
Hell yeah.
Sinatra and the mob can get in with the Kennedys. She was just used as like a pawn between all of them.
Sick, dude. Fucking Frank Sinatra still being a fucking
Yeah.
G from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
That's why every fucking fat dude has a fucking Frank Sinatra gangster shirt,
Yeah.
man. I
Yeah.
love that shit.
He did it his way.
Nice.
But
Isn't that, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
they don't think he's a part of the mafia just because he had a beautiful voice.
yeah, exactly.
They're like, no one that can fucking sing so beautiful about New York City can possibly whore out a woman.
Yeah.
Do you think that's true?
What, that he whored out Marilyn Monroe? Maybe.
That'd be
I don't
cool.
know.
That fucking line, regrets I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I'm like, that's fucking narcissism, dude.
Yeah.
Listen, I've done some bad things, but not that many. And the
Yeah.
things that I have done, I don't even really care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a pimp to me.
Yeah. And he like there was some thing at Yankee Stadium. Joe DiMaggio was called back for some event, and when like Bobby Kennedy was there, he like deliberately walks right past him and wouldn't look at him or talk to him because he
Ooh.
felt like the Kennedys were
That-
responsible for Marilyn Monroe's death.
Do you
Jeez.
think Bobby and John F. Kennedy had a threesome with Marilyn Monroe?
That's like alleged.
Now, would you have sex with a woman with your brother? You're the only one that can answer this question, as you
He's
have
not
a
the
brother.
only one with the brother.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I'm sure his brother has something to say about it, too.
Yeah.
Well, let's get Matt's side of
Yeah.
it first.
I don't know.
And then we'll have his brother on the next episode to give
It
his
depends
side.
on the girl. If there's like
If it was like a Marilyn Monroe,
if it's like you can have sex with Kate Upton, but it has to be with your brother, I'm like, sure, I'll
Nice.
just have sex with Kate
what's
Upton.
the ugliest woman you would agree to do that to?
Well, if she's she could be so ugly that you would just do it for the bit, so you and your
Oh,
brother have the
that's
fun
true also.
story.
All right.
Yeah.
So, like, who would that be
Just an example of an ugly woman.
that you would have sex with?
Susan
for the bit?
Boyle.
Your mom.
Which mom?
Either one.
Whoa.
Damn.
Would you really?
Yeah, I would.
No, she wouldn't. I would say, like, hey, my mother got raped by the Maran boys again. She got
Looks like the Maran boys are backed up no good.
she got marinated.
There you go.
Damn. Ah, well, what can you do?
Super Marin Bros.
But it's like a gangbang hentai game.
Yeah.
Check your gefilte fish for pills, or the Maran boys will be back up in your guts again.
If you had a brother, Bobby, would you have sex with the same woman with him?
I feel like maybe I don't want to know definitively that my brother has a bigger dick than me.
What about would you have sex with the same woman with your dad?
Nah.
No.
He's a dork, dude.
Doesn't matter who it is.
I don't need him fucking cramping my style when I'm fucking beating the shit out of this woman, you know? I'm fucking smashing her head against the bed frame, and my dad's like, whoa, easy there, Tiger. What's going on? You want to talk about this aggression? I'm fucking punching her repeatedly, choking her with the belt. Her eyes are rolling back. She's got this fucking vein in her forehead. There's like fucking foam coming out of her mouth. And I was like, oh, hey, slugger, tap out, take it easy.
I always thought T.J. Miller was one of your big influences.
Isn't that wild? Wouldn't that be wild if I was like aggressive like that instead of like, yo, let's watch Bob's Burgers? hey, babe, yo, baby girl, you like South Park?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that on. Then it's like 20 seconds later, I come. I'm like, are you hungry? I'm gonna order some food.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you don't need to pay for this seamless order. I'm gonna fucking get seamless anyway.
Yeah.
The confidence to just be like, yeah, women get like getting punched in the head. I don't have to ask first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thrown out of a moving vehicle. All that good shit, dude. How do you make a woman come?
I follow
Stick her-
directions.
Yeah. Stick a remote control up her ass.
Nice.
There you go, dude.
I let her watch me play fucking video games.
Yeah. See if she turns the volume up on the TV.
Ooh. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
Put the remote control up her ass and just repeatedly press the buttons 6 and 9 over and over again.
Bopper. That makes
Yeah.
me come.
You ever fuck a woman for the first time and she comes like very easily and part of you is like, was this a prank?
No, you just
No,
think she faked it.
I think she
Yeah.
was, she was like holding it in. Because like
Really?
sometimes if it's like a very special woman, you gotta like not masturbate, so you have like a massive fucking load.
Okay.
you
Yeah.
drench them with.
I think in my experience, if it's too easy, it probably was. It's like if it feels too easy, it was.
I remember one time I asked.
Yeah.
I was like, "Was that fake?" And
Is
she
this
was
a
like,
fucking joke?
"Yeah." I'm like, "Do I look like a fucking idiot to you?
Yeah.
Do I look like a chump?"
Hey, bitch, what is this?
Yeah.
And she was like, that was the first time I've ever come. I'm 12 years old. I think you do come fast when you're like young, and then like as an adult.
I don't know,
you never
Bobby.
come.
Bobby, do girls come when they're young?
As someone that has, it's interesting.
Bobby's like, they come, but they don't go.
They come, but they don't go. As someone that, and we've established, you're projecting because I have been the youngest person I fucked is 22.
That's pretty fucking young.
You've both fucked women younger than 22.
When I was like fucking 17.
Yeah.
But I never. 22 is the youngest
It's the
woman.
age gap that matters most, Bobbert. Not the fucking age itself,
Yeah.
but the relativity.
Yeah.
That's what's so
what I'm
vile
saying-
and lecherous.
I'm the least able to answer this question
Just
to young
because
women
you've
come.
had sex with a woman who was 22, you haven't finished the sentence. She was 22 years younger than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I had sex with a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
It's like there were 20 of them. Bobby,
I love that
jeez
joke, dude.
Louise.
Great joke.
A classic Bobby bit.
Yeah.
I think the older you get, you realize that like how a woman comes has almost nothing to do with you. You know what I mean?
Because it's a fucking made up thing.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with me. It's her fucking anatomy. If she can't come, it's her fault.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
this shit fixed, lady.
Exactly.
Like my dick's not working. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with
Yeah.
your pussy? Your pussy's so bad it preemptively fucking made my dick not work.
Not even
Yeah.
like close to being hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plenty of women have come before when I can't get hard. It's your fault.
Exactly. But I think the other way too, like if a woman comes real easy, I'm not like I'm the fucking man. I'm like that also has nothing to do with me. I think like how good you are at sex or how big your dick is or how good you look or whatever, it's all like negligible. Like it can maybe make it happen a little faster, maybe make it have like a little more time. But for the most part, it's just like a woman's anatomy. and what
I think
happens.
each woman is just different and
It
unique.
depends-
So some women,
yeah.
it's easier to make them come.
That's what I'm saying,
Other-
but it doesn't. It really has like very little to do with
I
you
think
in
some-
both directions.
I feel like sometimes it does depend on like the person.
Or your chemistry.
Yeah.
'Cause there's girls I've been with who say they can come very easily and they don't with me, and other girls say it's hard to make me come and they do with me.
I
So
think,
it-
they
I
do.
think
I
it's
think
your
either way they
chemistry.
lie. I think either way the women lie.
Yeah.
If
When
they say they'd ever come and they come, they fucking lie. They come all the
Yeah.
fucking time, and they're lying to me. And if they say they never come and then they do come, they're fucking lying. And
One
if they
girl-
don't come,
yeah.
it's not my fault.
Well, the phenomenon of like, it's like almost like an old joke, like women fake their orgasms. I feel like our generation,
Yeah, it's a joke.
it's a joke. Our generation,
Fucking joke is what it is.
They're kidding around. It's like less. We're the generation where that probably happens, like because I've fucked women and they don't come,
Oh no,
and I'm like
angry.
I get furious, but I mean, I don't know if baby boomers experience that.
No,
I
they
think-
just wouldn't talk about it. Well, like baby boomers never had a platform to discuss anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They would like talk at like the local bar, so they'd know people that like grew up in their same hometown and have like their same frame of reference, and that's
Yeah.
how they get these echo chambers. It's not, and then like by the time the internet came out, it was too late. They were like so set in their ways. We had internet at just the right time where. I think for us now, like we feel more comfortable asking a question on the internet than we would asking like any of our friends.
Yeah, you can go on Reddit and ask questions anonymously that people just never got answers to back in the day.
And like they moderate that, so you at least are getting like good answers and
Yeah.
like you know
You have
like
a
it's not
top
like
response.
Yeah, it's not like the fucking like '90s where it's like whatever you
Yeah.
can just put everything. You have to shift through the horse shit. Like now, it's like people will upvote good comments.
Yeah.
Pin good comments. Moderators will say we're removing this comment because it has nothing to do or it's false information. It's
Right.
great, man.
And on Reddit, you sort by controversial, and you can see the real opinions, the saucy opinions.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's what you like. The common Ask Reddit question, like, "What's your most controversial opinion?" And it's
Yeah.
like you want to search by controversial there.
Yeah. What's
So
your
it's-
most controversial opinion?
Ooh,
Nothing about age of consent. What else?
What's your second most controversial opinion?
I feel like in 5 years, someone's gonna play a clip of me being like, "I think non-binary is people making stuff up for attention," is gonna get me like very much in trouble.
I think
would
that's
say-
extremely controversial.
I would say,
I
like,
believe all women, men, and non-binary people.
I say
Non-binary women or non-binary men?
Just non-binaries.
Good.
I say
I was trying to be like a Pharisee just now and
I'm
trip
fucking,
you up.
I'm fucking woke, Bobby. I'm woke as fuck.
Well, I'll say this. This is one. Like I say, like if you give your kids like hormone therapy, that you still have to let people fuck them.
That's
It's
your
like, all right, you can do
Beautiful.
whatever you fucking want, but like that means like it's open season on their ass.
Yeah.
You know? If they're old enough to fucking, make a decision like that, they're old enough to make another gigantic life mistake that they'll regret forever.
It is funny that if you're a teenage girl and you're like, I'm a trans man, please give me testosterone, that's fine. But like me at 15 would have very much benefited from some testosterone.
Yeah.
But that's off limits.
You could probably get that now.
My controversial opinion is that the Liver King was never on steroids. Even though he says he was, I still think he's clean.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That rules.
That's
It's
the
one
most
of the tenets, dude.
Yeah, it's one of the life tenets. That's the most controversial opinion I have.
Our ancestors used steroids 5,000 years ago. There's
Yeah.
no reason why we can't now.
Also,
that's what he sounds like.
It is.
vegetables shouldn't be on burgers.
That's true. Vegetables shouldn't be anywhere.
I love a
dude.
carrot burger.
A carrot burger?
Carrot burger.
Never even heard of that. Is that an actual
He's
thing?
making shit up.
No.
It's not.
This N-word's making shit up.
Yeah, vegetables. When I get a burger deluxe, I'll still eat the vegetables. I like vegetables, but I I would eat them on the side.
They should be sautéed, if anything.
Yeah. I feel like it takes away from the taste of the meat of the burger when you have lettuce and tomato on it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I would never eat a tomato on its own, but if you put a tomato on a burger, it adds a little something to the burger.
Where should we go on tour this year?
Bay
It's a
Area,
brand new year.
Kansas
Brand
City.
new opportunities.
Just places Joe lives. Joe has family.
I'm going to London in May.
Why?
I'm following Ben Miller
Why?
because
What are we going to do? What about locker room talk?
Well, I was gonna tell you guys off. Like,
Oh, no. So we're out of locker room talk. Folks, we officially have a third mic open. How long are you going to be gone?
Wait, what's the age of consent in England?
Bloody 12 years old, mate.
Oh, it'll be a very blessed.
Oh, she had a visit from her Aunt Spotty, so I think she's ready. She's open for business, love. How long are you going to be gone, Bobby, having sex with minors in London?
To answer your question of how long I'll be gone, it is 2 weeks.
We are officially ending locker room talk.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to make it past that.
Well, that's good. We'll go on like a 2-week hiatus.
I mean, you guys can have guests too.
Nah, that's all right. It's too much work.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to what? Fucking like ask somebody.
Ask somebody.
Yeah.
And then who's going to watch the videos and tell us where to edit the clips?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
that's
impossible.
Ooh, don't break the fourth wall. They
What?
don't know about the division of labor,
Oh,
Yeah.
or they might.
they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah, and Bobby won't be able to listen to any episodes of the podcast when he's in England.
He'll be
They don't
too-
allow it. We're banned in London.
Oh, Ben Miller won't let him listen to the podcast.
That's true. Yeah.
Are you opening for him?
I am.
Uh-oh, are you nervous? Is it Edinburgh?
No.
What is it?
It's London. It's
just
it's
London?
literally another city.
You're just going
I'm doing Edinburgh and London.
Wait, you're just going to fucking London?
Yeah, we're gonna travel around England.
What theater? I could get us a week at the Globe if you really wanted to. Are you
Re-
serious?
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, you blew it. Sorry, your fucking choice has been made. Matt,
You already-
maybe our 2-man podcast will perform live at the Globe Theater, dude.
Hell yeah, that could be
I wish
fun.
you told me. My aunt's a fucking producer in London, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, whatever. I hope you learned a valuable lesson, Bobby. Don't ever try to move against the podcast.
I'm a little freaked out that they drive on the left.
Why?
I feel like because when I was in Bermuda, where they also drive on the left, I kind of thought that I was gonna get hit by a car at any moment.
What were you doing in Bermuda?
I
this?
went on vacation
When was this?
before we knew each other.
I never knew you went to Bermuda.
Is that okay?
Yeah, you
No.
just tell me things like this. What's the Bermuda
You're not the
Tri-
only adult that could go on a cruise with his parents.
The Bermuda
Matt.
Triangle is right there. You could have been missing, and we never would have been able to start this podcast.
So you need to know if I've ever been to Bermuda
if you need
before
if you've
risk
been,
aversion.
if you've been somewhere where you could go missing, I need to know.
Okay. Well, I've been blackout drunk in many different countries.
Where?
One time I was blackout drunk in Berlin, and I had no clue how to get back to my hotel, so I just started screaming, "I want to go home," until a cab driver drove me home for free.
I have some relatives who did that in Berlin years ago. It didn't work out that well for them.
I wanted to go home for free.
Did a nice cabbie bring them home?
Yeah, no, he brought them somewhere.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they wanted to get home and get a nice shower. They
Okay.
didn't get the kind of shower they wanted.
Did they get any tattoos?
Maybe.
Did they write any whiny books?
Maybe.
Ooh, I read Primo Levi, Surviving in Auschwitz. It's very good.
What's it about?
Primo Levi?
Yeah.
So like an Italian Jew?
Yeah.
What's it about?
You want me to tell you what Surviving Auschwitz is about?
Oh, historical fiction.
Yeah. He actually ended up killing himself.
Oh no,
Don't
why?
fucking spoil the ending, Bobby. I want to learn about the Holocaust
God,
for the
God
first
damn,
time.
he go out of his way just to make Nazis look bad.
Yeah.
Like all he could have peacefully died in the camp.
Oh no, he died like late, like as an old man, but he killed.
How?
He killed himself as an old man. He survived the Holocaust and then years later killed himself.
It allegedly, so it's kind of not exactly clear. Some people think that it might have been an accident. He didn't.
Okay.
It's kind of one of those iffy ones.
Wait, so he goes to the Holocaust, survives.
Didn't like it.
Wasn't a fan.
Why not?
Not
dude?
a fan.
Yeah.
He thought he was being treated unfairly.
Anyway, these fucking Jews whining all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I can say it. I know a lot of whiny Jews. They're
Yeah.
always like, "Oh, it was separated from my family."
Mm-hmm.
But so he then where does he go after? To Italy, America,
I think he went to America, but I'm not positive.
and then years later, the story like how did he die?
Getting his dick sucked.
Getting his dick, he died in a getting his dick sucked accident.
Doesn't sound like an accident to me.
Yeah.
That'd be the funniest way to kill yourself is while having sex with someone else. Just
If you really want to just ruin a woman's life forever.
Yeah.
I was sucking this guy's dick and I looked up and he blew his fucking brains out.
Too much D.
It don't get much better than this. And then
She'll
you just
never
fucking-
be able to have go down on a guy ever again.
Or maybe she'll have like a fetish and be like, I'm gonna suck every bad guy's dick to fucking end their lives. And
I have a friend who's a cop from Texas who was
Nice.
telling me he dated a girl who had like a fetish where she wanted a gun being held to her head.
Nice.
And she wanted like empty to have him like pull the trigger when she came.
Oh my god.
I bet he did that and he forgot to fucking take out the bullets and he shot her. But because he's a cop, like his other buddies in the force just kind of covered it up for him.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right before he just to so it would be on body cam. He goes, "Let me see your hands.
Yeah.
Show me your hands."
Yeah.
Damn.
I like the idea that he has his body cam on during sex.
Yeah.
I bet he definitely fucking held the gun to her head.
I mean, yeah, she wanted him to.
Yeah, but you shouldn't do that with your police gun. You should do that with your private gun.
It may have been. I don't know.
That
First
would be
rule
like-
of
that
gun
would-
ownership: don't use your service weapon. as
Honestly, I
foreplay.
mean, like that's like fucking using like my. I would like. That's why I fucking edit the podcast on my home computer and not my work computer.
Right.
Just out of fear that all of a sudden, like they'd somehow.
Yeah.
It's like just keep that shit separate.
He said she also had like a fetish with the knife where they would hold the knives up to each other's throats, and he was more just like, I'll do this because you're into it. It wasn't
Man,
like
the
his
temptation
choice.
just to fucking like go into that skin
Yeah.
and just gut her like a fucking pig, and then wear that skin as a fucking uniform for 3 days in your apartment until the landlord knocks on your door demanding to know what that smell is, and then looks like there's another body that you're gonna have to add to the fucking pile now.
Yeah, I
another
gotta-
witness that must be eliminated. So
I
you
gotta
can
ask him
continue
how
this.
difficult it was not to do that.
yeah, it sounds tempting, honestly.
Yeah. Damn, if I was a cop, I'd be fucking killing people left and fucking right. My camera wouldn't be working all the time. I make fucking people have sex with me, to fucking get off. And then I'd fucking kill them anyway, like in GTA.
There was a cop that like serially fucked / raped people, and he got into like double digits before they caught him.
I bet, dude.
With the fucking or the raping?
Well, I guess it's all rape, I guess, because it was like I won't give you a ticket if you suck my dick.
That sounds fair.
So there's a power dynamic, so it's rape no matter what.
Are you sure?
It's
Careful, Matt.
Well,
Don't say
if there
anything
is-
that could come back and get us in trouble later on. So I say it's not rape.
For the locker
I say any interaction with a man and a woman, that's not rape.
And Matt, before you give your opinion, remember that you do book Comedy Fight Club.
I was going to say, between Comedy Fight Club and Locker Room Talk, saying the politically correct answer would lose me fans.
They'd
So-
fucking kill you.
Yeah. But the one, like, regardless, the ones that said no, he then raped them.
Yeah.
Like, there were ones that were like, just give me the ticket. And he's like, all right, I see you want to do this the hard way. He was a monster. And he got like life, I think.
That's cool when like a cop goes to jail because like they're gonna get fucking killed.
They put you in like a special. They put you with the Chomos.
They won't be safe from me.
You got men on the inside. You're like
How do you
Walter
think,
White.
if we went to jail, how do you think or prison? How do you think we'd be killed? Because I think we'd all get killed in prison eventually.
You're killed because you're getting too powerful, like the way Stalin had Trotsky killed. Matt is killed out of just like I feel like it's beat up the big guy. Oh well, you're not a big guy in prison.
I bet he would die in the middle of like a cafeteria riot.
Yeah, I would get in a fight, and if I did do anything to anyone, like their boys come and get me.
Matt would try to break the tension on the first day at the cafeteria by saying food fight, and then he starts throwing food, and someone sees the opportunity, just runs up and fucking shanks him.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, if I'm like in a fight of some sort, and even if I win a fight, then someone shanks me for winning a fight. I think it ends up being. If I die in prison, it's something along those lines.
I definitely get killed for being pretentious.
You get killed in the shower for sure.
Like in a sexual way or just
Both.
okay.
Or you become the girl and you survive by being everyone's girl.
Yeah. No,
you
not
go.
everyone's girl, Matt. Jeez.
Everyone's
I
girl.
want it to be special.
He would get viciously mutilated in the shower. First.
I think the way to go is to get to actually be one man's girl, and then he kind of keeps me from getting tossed around.
Yeah, but what happens when he's killed?
Oof. Well, then I'll find another one.
You better.
But
hope,
I'm a
dude.
monogamous man at heart.
Yeah.
So even if I'm in prison,
Yeah.
I'm getting raped by another man. I'm like, oh, this feels wrong.
Prison would suck, dude. I'd hate to go to prison.
I think I'm gonna try my best not to go to prison.
Yeah, we should all try.
Yeah.
I'm open to it.
Why?
I got to see both sides of the issue before I make a decision.
There are probably nice moments of it where you're like, I'm glad I don't have to fucking go to work right now.
Yeah, no dealing with women.
Yeah. No, just very simple, a bartering fucking negotiation to get Twinkies. None of this, did you file your tax return? It's like, no, dude, I got a pack of cigarettes that I gave to someone for some licorice. All right. And I ate that licorice, and the dopamine kick it gave me was so high because I only get to watch TV a half hour a day.
Oh, yeah, that may suck.
Yeah.
A half hour a day of TV.
I mean, I made up that rule. I don't know how long.
Okay.
I
I'll be in
let
an
you.
insane asylum then.
Yeah,
Because
wait,
you get
why
to
do you
watch
only
TV
get a-
all you want there. Except in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, there's a scene where they turn off the World Series. If they fucking did that, I'm like, actually, I'm not insane. I can go home,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Matt would start getting batty for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Jack Nicholson just wanted to watch the World Series, and that fucking bitch.
Dude,
had
the
to turn
fact
it
that
off.
they so Jack Nicholson is like a likable, unlikable character.
Yeah.
Right? And the way that they introduce the fact that he's like malingering, he's not actually crazy, he just doesn't want to go to prison, is that he's a statutory rapist.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And he's trying, and he tells the warden like how hot this 15-year-old girl was.
Yeah.
But in 1980 fucking something,
You
that
could
did,
still be a good guy.
yeah,
after
they
that.
were like, well, we're all fucking 15-year-old girls.
Yeah.
And they made this new law.
Or in general, there's just things in movies in the past where it's like you make someone like because they're in jail or whatever. In general, there's the things of like this person has done a bad thing, but you then get to see they're also a good person.
That's right. Well, like
Yeah.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest takes place before the Perfect 10 law, and that law is if they're hot enough. Come on, Your Honor. I'm just a simple lawyer from the South, but I'd like to point everyone's attention to this supple and delectable 15-year-old with the body not unlike that of an 18 to 19-year-old. Now, Ladies and gentlemen, what Mr. Seinfeld did here was nothing a man in his position wouldn't do if he had a popular TV series and he sees a Jewish princess with what we can only in the industry call heavy hangers.
It's the perfect 10 law.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby, didn't you learn? You were a paralegal. You know all about this.
Yeah.
Take a note. Take a note, boy.
Yeah.
Not. How about a 9? Not is 9 fine? Is 8
I would
great?
say- I would
Is 7
say-
heaven? Is 6 chicks?
6 is the limit.
6 is the yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Perfect
don't
10,
fucking
yeah.
throw away your future for a mid, bro. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it is interesting that like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's in general. There's still that still happens now. Redemption stories in movies, but just there are some things now that you can't have the bad guy do. Like people won't accept them coming back from that. It's still like nope. There's a song by Blake Shelton that's all about a guy who is in prison and escapes, and he
Nice.
went to prison because he caught his wife cheating with the guy, and he shot him.
Perfect, dude. You fuck
And-
with my property, dude.
Yeah.
I do the same thing if I saw someone use my PlayStation.
Yes, and that's I guess not the word. It's like all right, you can come back for that, but statutory rape is kind of like I'm
Yeah.
not going to root for this guy at any point.
What if he called it
after this.
statutory love?
Maybe. Yeah. Did he? We don't even.
Yeah,
we don't
what
even
if,
know
like,
if he loved
what
her.
if like the cops are fucking arresting him and like the fucking 15-year-old pokes her head out and she's like, "Don't I love him?" Who's to say?
Yep, and I think the verdict is innocent after that. It's got to be. It's like the perfect 10 law, the love law. Yeah.
Especially if that guy sang Hound Dog, because that's a great song.
And you ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Yeah.
I was,
Fucking little kids, you ain't nothing but a hound dog. A fucking little kids. Well, I know it's a perfect 10 because you don't fuck mids.
you ain't ever had a puppy and he's not in your van tonight.
Whew. That was
Viva the perfect 10 law.
I can't help going to jail for you.
Yikes, we're starting off 2023 electric.
Absolutely.
Incredibly.
Dun, dun,
Dare
dun,
I say
dun,
our
dun, dun, dun.
most controversial episode so far, and that's
I think
saying
so.
something.
Yeah. I'd say it's at least our second most controversial episode of 2023.
Every episode that we do is more controversial than the last, which means if you're watching this, you are watching our most controversial episode.
Yeah. Yikes.
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous too.
WIKES.
Wikes?
Yeah. I'm dyslexic, man.
You just do W instead of Y?
I did.
Yikes!
Wikes?
Yikes. That's actually how Matt says yikes. I was spelling it phonetically for him.
Yeah.
Damn, that was a good ass movie. That One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Why?
Yeah.
Because there was
Remember
that
the-
big silent Indian.
Big
Yes.
yeah, seen, not heard. And he was a fucking cool guy.
What was he in the asylum for?
I think murder.
Really?
I don't remember.
I remember getting pissed at the nurse for not letting him fuck.
Nurse Ratchet.
Nurse
Yeah.
Ratchet, yeah. She wouldn't let the skinny little awkward guy fuck. And I'm like, what's that going to hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who gives a It was very clear that woman was like, I'm going to fuck this weird guy. It's going to make his day. She was like excited
Yeah.
to make his day. And the crazy kid knew. I don't think he thought, "Oh, I'm going to be your husband."
Yeah.
He has sex for one time in his life.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't even want to do it again. He would probably just like look back on it fondly as
Yeah.
a nice moment that he probably shouldn't have had.
Yeah.
But then Nurse Ratchet is like, no, but I need she almost got like powers from those guys not being able to fuck.
There was a
That made her
series-
powerful.
There was a series on Netflix, like came out in the last couple of years, Ratchet, and it was about like her origin story.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably still up there. It's just one season. I don't think they did a second one, but it was like her first job at an insane asylum, and she's not like as evil as she got, but you kind of see, oh, that's just the world that she was in. And eventually, she's
Yeah.
like watching people get lobotomized because
Watching
they're,
a
like,
woman like have an abortion and you see how evil she is by like not being outspoken against it?
Yeah, I think you saw it, right?
No, but I just
think it was
know.
something like that. Oh, I was gonna say I saw it a while ago.
No,
so
I
I don't
never
remember.
I would never watch anything with a female protagonist,
Right,
but
yeah.
I know like what's an evil thing that
I
a
do
woman
know
can
she
do.
watches like a woman get lobotomized for like I don't know, wanted to do math or something.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Are we picking up Finney on the mic?
Nah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Finney is better seen and not heard.
Mm.
He's going to town on a little bone right now.
What time are we at, Matt?
104.
Thank
Ooh.
Christ.
Yeah, we're in the home stretch now.
Well, I think this episode is a home run, if I may say so myself.
I think it's a perfect 10.
Hell yeah. I think this has been more aimless than usual. But I
Yeah.
think that's okay.
We got to start the year rock bottom
Yeah.
because we can only go up from here.
Exactly.
Hopefully we get a live show. Where are we
Yeah.
going? Vegas,
Alabama.
Miami?
I'd say Alabama.
Alabama.
Maybe I don't know, where have you looked up where our listeners are? By the way, actually, I'm kind of you sent the numbers like less than a year, but at the end of the year we have like 40,000 downloads. Pretty
All
solid.
organic, baby.
All organic,
Mostly Russian bots, I think.
probably.
Good, dude. Well, hail Russia forever then.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Thank
like
you guys for listening and giving us all these numbers.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. If we find what foreign country listens to us the most?
Actually, England.
England.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah.
And
We got to hit up Joe's aunt.
yeah. Hell yeah, dude. I'm so because just to learn that country, I don't know a lot about England, but I feel
Food's
like
awful.
they're like they're our daddy a little bit. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm like Will Smith in Fresh Prince when he randomly runs into his dad and then he spends like a week with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I never hung out with my dad, and now I'm just getting to know him for the first time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, except at the end, I won't be crying to Uncle Phil, like, how come England don't want me?
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that would be sad.
Yeah.
And I think they do stuff a little different, but they speak English.
Yes.
So it takes away, like, arguably the most stressful part about being in a foreign country is when they don't speak English.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, I got to learn please and thank you in another
No, it's
language.
fine. Like London's fine, dude.
and you can find some cool history stuff there too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a lot
it's
of
only like a
kings.
6-hour flight too.
Yeah. There's a lot of like castles and king stuff there.
6-hour flight, and they're 6 hours ahead. So I feel like on the flight home, it's like you didn't travel at all.
You basically break even, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And is it? It might be 5 hours ahead. Because when I was in the Czech Republic, it was 6 hours ahead, and I know that England is an hour behind the Czech Republic. Unless I'm getting confused,
Boy.
which is
Yeah.
possible.
Mm.
Tennessee, that they're 1 hour ahead from each side. I think that's fucking awful.
What do you mean? They're 1 hour ahead.
Because like one's in central and the other's in eastern.
One
Mhm.
end of Tennessee to the other.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm just dumb enough that would fuck with me if I live like on the border, because I'm sure there's people that are where they drive to work and then they drive back and it's earlier or
Right.
later. I would just be in a constant state of confusion. I'd have no idea what time it was.
Yeah.
I'd fuck somebody and then go back in time. I'd be like, you can't arrest me now.
Yeah. I would fuck a 17-year-old at 11:01 p.m.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Drive her to the others. Drive her to the next time zone.
Matt doesn't understand how time zones work. He fucks a 14-year-old.
It's like, no, but it was before midnight.
It was before
She's
midnight.
14.
Classic West Tennessee behavior, but we don't let
Exactly,
that
yeah.
shit fly in East Tennessee. Or
right.
is it the other way around? See, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't. I was even looking at flights. I haven't booked my flight yet.
To London?
Yeah, but I was looking.
When are you leaving?
In May.
That's right around the corner, dude.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Who are we going to get to fill in your part?
I don't know. Michael Scott says he wants to do it.
Oh, yeah. We should
A
get
black guy? Another black guy?
Is that too many?
This is out of control. We already had
did-
a black guy.
See,
And
Matt
we, and we
wants-
were going to try and get Derek Gonzalez on.
a black guy? What's that? What is that? What's going on?
Joe, it's 3 black guys. We originally wanted 5. It's the 3/5 compromise.
right.
And Derek Gonzalez is black, but he's also Latino.
Yes.
I thought he was, I thought he was like Afro-Latinx.
Peruvian?
I think Dominican.
No,
He can do the podcast if he
He's
gives
from
me.
a South American country. I remember.
He is?
I think so. Guyana, maybe.
Maybe.
No,
can-
because he speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
Derek Gonzalez
Brazil?
can do the podcast if he gives me one of his puppies.
He has puppies.
Puppies. Hell
Vinny
yeah,
needs a
dude.
little brother. And
Yeah.
if you have a puppy that I can adopt, let us know. DM me on Instagram, and
Yeah.
I'll buy a puppy off of you. Because Finn needs a little brother.
How much does the puppy go for these days?
I don't know, but I don't want to pay more than $200.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've never bought an animal. It's the one thing that someone could like pull the wolves over my eyes because I've never purchased one.
I'd buy a good one if it's a good little puppy.
Yeah.
We'll think about it.
You kind of want something a little bit wrong with it because I feel like a 3-legged dog. What is a better pussy magnet than that?
Nope. It has to be a regular ass puppy you can play with. Buy me a puppy, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye. See you next week. Subscribe to our Patreon.
Unless you don't want to.